While recovering in the hospital with a fractured leg from a car crash, my partner of 4 years, Ryan, shared photos of himself at a party with his former girlfriend, captioned, "Finally rid of the clingy drama queen and her endless demands." We'd been together for 4 years and I chose not to respond. This morning, my phone was flooded with frantic texts from him and pleas from his mother urging me to rethink my actions. So let me backtrack. Ryan and I have been dating for 4 years, a journey that felt like climbing a mountain with a guide who ditches you halfway, leaving you to carry everyone's gear. That kind of exhausting trek. We met at a community garden restoration project my workplace sponsored. I was on the compost crew, and Ryan, the self-proclaimed compost emperor, led the team with an unapologetic flair. Despite this early warning sign, I found his passion for decaying vegetables oddly charming. He gave this poetic speech about how breaking down is the first step to creating something beautiful, and my plant-loving heart fell for the metaphor. 4 years later, I realized the only thing decomposing was my self-worth. Let's break it down. Ryan contributed to rent exactly 7 times in 4 years. My name alone is on the lease because his credit is temporarily shot for 4 years. He's been jobless for about 60% of our relationship. When he does have cash, it goes to his gaming rig, designer clothes, or nights out with his buddies. He's borrowed my car more often than he's asked about my day. But I was in love, so I made excuses. He was finding himself, had potential, all the cliches we tell ourselves when dating a man-child. Then, last week, I was in a serious car accident. Someone ran a red light, smashing into my car. I ended up with a broken leg, 3 cracked ribs, and a concussion. The doctors said I was fortunate it wasn't worse, but it felt horrific. Ryan visited me in the hospital once, for 20 minutes. He claimed hospitals triggered his anxiety and he needed to process his trauma. His trauma? I was the one with metal pins in my leg. My best friend, Alicia, was my rock. She stayed with me for 3 nights, sleeping in an uncomfortable hospital chair, helping me to the bathroom, bringing real food, and washing my hair in a tiny sink. That's true friendship. While I was doped up on pain meds, Alicia's face turned grim while scrolling her phone. I sensed something was wrong, and despite her hesitation, I snatched her phone. Pain meds make me bold. There was Ryan, at a party, arm around his ex, Kayla, with that caption about being free from me. I froze. 4 years of supporting him emotionally and financially, enduring his self-discovery phases, his gaming obsession, his inability to clean a toilet. And this is how he behaves while I'm broken in a hospital bed. Worse, our mutual friends commented, "Happy for you, man," and "You deserve better." No one mentioned my hospitalization. I didn't react publicly, I didn't text or call, I just absorbed it. Then I remembered something crucial. My name is the only one on the lease. So I made arrangements. I contacted my landlord, my brother and my cousin, and we devised a plan. While I recovered at Alicia's, Ryan returned to the apartment a few times, oblivious to what was coming. My brother David and 2 of his co-workers executed phase 1. We packed up every single item of Ryan's, every dirty sock, every collectible figurine, every gaming console, his craft beer stash, his signed sports memorabilia, and tossed it all into the dumpster behind the complex. Not the recycling bin, the dumpster. The compost emperor could rot with his trash. This might sound extreme, but Ryan hadn't paid rent in 3 months. I'd been hiding eviction notices from him, embarrassed that my boyfriend couldn't contribute. I'd taken on extra freelance work to cover his share while he claimed to be networking. And while I was in the hospital, he was interviewing for a job, secured through my connections, that he was set to start soon. The hiring manager, my college roommate's brother, received some eye-opening details about Ryan's financial irresponsibility and those social media posts celebrating his freedom from his hospitalized girlfriend. This morning, my phone erupted with texts from Ryan. "Where's my stuff? Are you serious? You can't do this. My collectibles are worth thousands. You'll pay for this." Then the tone shifted. "Baby, I'm sorry, I was drunk and stupid. Kayla means nothing. Please call me. I love you. We can fix this." His mother, Diane, also chimed in, sobbing and begging me to reconsider, claiming Ryan made a mistake but didn't deserve to have his life destroyed. She mentioned the other thing I did, the job situation, and called me vindictive. Maybe I am. But after 4 years of carrying someone who couldn't bother to visit me in the hospital, who publicly humiliated me while I learned to use crutches, I'm done. The lease renewal is next month, and I'm not signing. I'm staying with Alicia until I find a new place, a fresh start, free of furniture tainted by memories of Ryan gaming while I cooked, cleaned, and paid the bills. I don't regret my actions, not one bit. Edit. No legal worries here. My cousin, a lawyer, confirmed that since Ryan's name isn't on the lease and he hasn't contributed financially, he has little legal standing. I've documented everything. Physically, I'm healing. 6 weeks left in the cast, but my ribs are improving. Why did I stay so long? Love blinds you. Ryan wasn't always awful, and the good moments tricked me into thinking the bad ones were temporary. Classic mistake. I'll update tomorrow with more fallout. Diane has called 17 times, leaving voicemails ranging from tears to threats. Ryan tried to enter the apartment, but the landlord blocked him. I may have changed the locks. Wow, I didn't expect my story to resonate so much. Thank you for the support, kind words, and legal advice. Here's what's happened since my last post. Diane's calls hit 43 in under 36 hours. I answered call 44, figuring she'd never stop. Picture me, propped up in Alicia's guest room, leg elevated on pillows, munching stress relief chips, while Diane cycled through sobs, guilt trips, and veiled threats for 28 minutes. Highlights. Ryan's been crying for days. I've never seen him like this. Funny, I cried for days in the hospital when he wasn't there. She claimed his collectibles, including baseball cards from his grandfather, were priceless. I countered with the cost of rent I'd covered for 4 years. She mentioned a proposal ring he allegedly showed her. Unless it was made of unpaid bills, I doubt it exists. She threatened legal action, but my cousin confirmed they have no case. Then she dropped a bombshell. Ryan told her I controlled his finances and isolated him from friends and family. I laughed so hard I nearly popped a stitch. Me? Controlling the finances of a man who spent our grocery budget on a gaming keyboard, who borrowed $3,000 for a crypto venture, who hasn't shown me his bank account in years, isolating him. I planned his birthdays, bought his mum's Christmas gifts, and drove him to family events when his car was repossessed. Instead of hanging up, I asked, "When did Ryan last pay rent?" Silence. She mumbled about an arrangement where I handled bills, and he covered other expenses. What expenses? More silence. So I laid it out. The $17,000 in credit card debt I accrued covering his share, the overtime I worked while he gamed, the jewelry I sold to pay rent when his deals fell through. I told her Ryan claimed I was jobless and he was supporting me. Diane was stunned, insisting he'd told her I was unemployed. I offered to email bank statements, rent receipts, and his social media posts. She said she'd talked to Ryan and hasn't called since. Now, the great dumpster operation. I couldn't move Ryan's stuff myself, so David and his co-workers stepped in. I paid them, unlike some people who expect free labor. We packed his gaming setup, 3 monitors, a $2,800 PC he bought while unemployed, his figurines, sports memorabilia, and craft beers. It took 4 hours, uncovering socks, stale chips, and receipts for secret purchases. When David carried Ryan's throne, his gaming chair, to the dumpster, it felt ceremonial. We didn't destroy anything, just relocated it to the trash. I kept 1 box of essentials, birth certificate, photos, medical records, with the landlord, who supported me after seeing the posts and hearing about the unpaid rent. He even helped change the locks. Ryan tried twice to enter the apartment. The second time, he threatened to call the police, but vanished when the landlord suggested they call together and discuss his rent arrears. Cockroaches hate light, don't they? As for the job, I shared factual details with the hiring manager, Ryan's posts, his payment history, texts bragging about dodging bills. They rescinded the offer. Petty? Maybe. But would you trust someone with your finances who can't manage their own? Today, Ryan's emails turned weepy, claiming he's reflected. Kayla was just for show, and he's ready to be a real partner. Too late. His college friend, Rob, warned me Ryan's planning a grand gesture to woo me back. Rob also revealed Ryan owes him money. Shocker. I'm exhausted, physically from the accident, emotionally from the drama, but I feel lighter, like I've shed a heavy load. Tomorrow I have a doctor's appointment, then Alicia and I are apartment hunting online. The lease ends in 30 days, and I'm ready for a fresh start. I'll update if Ryan's gesture happens. Knowing him, it'll be inappropriate, cheap, or all about him, probably all 3. Edit, my car was totaled. Insurance is processing the payout. I'm using rideshares and Alicia's help for now. Edit 2. No worries about Ryan's physical threats. My building has cameras, Alicia's has a doorman, and Ryan's all talk, no action. Back again, my revenge-loving crew. The drama keeps twisting like my garden hose. First, medical update. My leg's healing well, and I might ditch the cast in 4 weeks. My ribs ache when I laugh too hard, which is tough with all this chaos. Now, the main event, Ryan's grand gesture. Yesterday, at Alicia's, the doorman announced a delivery. Alicia retrieved it, a compost bin filled with dirt, worms, and kitchen scraps, topped with a note. Our love, like compost, can break down and rebuild stronger. I'm decomposing my old self to be the man you deserve. Give us another chance to grow. The compost empress struck again. Alicia and I laughed so hard I needed extra pain meds. She posted a photo of me bewildered beside the bin, captioned, "When your BFF's ex thinks worms win hearts." Inside the compost, yes, inside, was a velvet box with a ring. A cheap plastic diamond green tinting ring engraved with 04-12-21- Kayla's birthday. He recycled a ring meant for his ex in compost. I texted him, "Our relationship belongs in the compost with the worms and trash." Alicia dumped the bin in her building's dumpster and sent him a video. Diane responded to my financial records with a long email cycling through denial. "These must be wrong." Anger, "You manipulated these." Bargaining, "Why didn't you ask me for help?" Depression, "I'm heartbroken my son did this." And acceptance, "I'm sorry for enabling him." On a follow-up call, she revealed Ryan told his family he supported me, claiming I was jobless, the apartment was his, and my totaled car was his. He'd borrowed $15,000 from them for emergencies that were lies. Diane was humiliated, apologizing for her son's actions. I felt for her. She was manipulated too. She said, "He needs consequences. I won't bail him out." The other thing I did. 3 joint credit cards Ryan opened in my name racked up $17,000 in debt. I'm working with my bank to prove $11,000 was his spending. I sent this evidence, along with his posts and texts, to his family, friends, and employer, noting, "This is what to expect if Ryan asks for money or a place to stay." Petty? Maybe. Truthful? Absolutely. Even Kayla messaged me, unaware I was hospitalized, as Ryan claimed we broke up months ago. She felt awful and offered screenshots, which I declined. Ryan caused a scene at Alicia's building, but the doorman blocked him. He called 37 times, leaving voicemails from, "It's a misunderstanding" to, "I'm sleeping in my car." What car? His was repossessed. His final voicemail hinted at self-harm, so I called a wellness check. Police found him at Rob's, emotional but fine, and suggested therapy. Rob later kicked him out for stealing $200. Ryan's now couch surfing, his family and friends distancing themselves. I'm healing, physically and emotionally. Alicia, my family and my job have been incredible. I'm apartment hunting and ready to move forward. Thanks for your support. I'll update if anything major happens. Hello for the last time, my amazing internet crew. It's been a month since my first post, and what a ride. I've moved into a new apartment with a balcony for my container garden, an elevator for my leg, and security for peace of mind. My cast is off early. I'm in a walking boot and grinding through physical therapy. Insurance paid out, and I bought a used Ford named Freedom.Ryan's Saga. He tried public shaming with a GoFundMe, homeless after girlfriend's revenge, claiming I stole his money and heirlooms. It was shut down in 6 hours after Alicia, David, and friends reported it for fraud, linking my posts. Ryan then caused a scene at my old apartment, demanding entry. The landlord, neighbours, and police confirmed he didn't live there. An outstanding $1,200 warrant for unpaid traffic tickets led to his arrest. He spent 2 nights in jail until his brother bailed him out. Per his brother, Ryan's now living with him, paying rent, working at his company, and, crucially, has stopped contacting me. His therapist likely advised him to move on. Diane invited me to lunch, apologising for enabling Ryan and revealing his father's similar behaviour. She gave me $2,000, not from Ryan, but as her amends. I used it to furnish my new place. Therapy has been eye-opening. I stayed with Ryan because fixing him gave me purpose. I ignored red flags, fearing loneliness, and enabled him by bailing him out. These truths hurt, but they're freeing me. Your support, advice, and humour carried me through this chaos. I'm done looking back. Here's to blooming anew. Please like and subscribe my channel.